What is up, NFC East football fans, and welcome into another edition of the NFC East Roundtable powered by BetUS. The divisional round is in the books, and the result from it is the best you could have possibly imagined for the NFC East division. Two teams remain standing, and those two teams come from the NFC East. Tonight, we discuss the divisional round and we get you set for the NFC Championship as the Commanders take on the Philadelphia Eagles. Let's dive into it. First, bringing in the fellas, KB, Rio, and J Tuck. Eagle L will be with us in just a bit. Believe me, he doesn't want to miss this episode. He wants to talk about his Eagles as much as Rio wants to talk about his Commanders. Fellas, who would have thought? There's 5 of us on the show. 3 of the 5 representing the Final 4 standing in the NFL Championship Sunday coming up this weekend. And the lines are currently up on BetUS. Right now, you can get the Washington Commanders as a 6-point dog on the road in the championship round against the Philadelphia Eagles. You can get in on the Bills as a 1-point dog in Arrowhead against the Kansas City Chiefs. This isn't shaking Rio by any means. He goes in as a dog in the previous 2 games. He comes out victorious. If you think the Commanders are going to do it again, if you're on the opposite side, no matter what side you're on, get in on it using the promo code YouTube150 on BetUS. That'll get you 150% sign-up bonus up to $2,000 on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your next 2 after that. Fellas, it's the best time of the year, and who would have thought that we'd be sitting here with our team, or 2 of the teams from this division, rather, in the championship round? I think Rio thought that there was a possibility, but even the most optimistic of Commanders fans could not have imagined they would have played this well and have gotten to where they are right now. Before we even dive into it, Rio, just talk to me about where you're at. You said earlier before we hopped on that this is uncharted waters for you. You haven't been here. So now that you're here, how do you feel about it right now?
Oh, man, this is definitely new territory for me. Like you said, how's life right now? Life has never been better as a Washington fan. This is the greatest season of my life, and it doesn't feel like it's coming to a conclusion just yet. I feel amazing. All I wanted out of this season was for us to establish a culture, was for Jaden Daniels to clearly be the franchise quarterback of the future, and to see who needs to be a part of this thing going forward for the foreseeable future. We've passed with flying colors. Our coach is up for coach of the year. Our quarterback is not only the best rookie of this season, he's the best rookie quarterback you've ever seen. He's already a top 5 quarterback in this league after you say Mahomes, Allen, Jackson, and Burrow. You go ahead and throw my quarterback's name right after that. And in the 2024-2025 playoffs, the best player on the field for any team is Jaden Daniels right now. It's him and Saquon. So I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling unbeatable right now. I don't care whose stadium we got to crash. I don't care what the lines are. We were a 9.5-point dog last week. And I told people, you're going to learn. You're going to learn about this football team. Wow, when Jaden and the offense are moving like this, and we're actually forcing turnovers on the defensive side of the ball, who beating us? Who's beating us, man? See y'all in 2 weeks, Z-Bot.
I'm praying for it. I think America's praying for it, Rio. You want to know who isn't praying for it is my main man, Eagle Al, who joins us right now. I know
heard
he's
that
feeling,
little rant.
He's feeling as good as you are, Rio. I asked Rio, and I'll ask you the same question, Al. You've been here not all that long ago, but you're back again. How does it feel heading into championship weekend, knowing that your Eagles are primed, ready to rock on the precipice of another Super Bowl appearance?
Man, it felt great. It felt great to have my team here, after last year, the collapse, then starting 2-2. A lot of people doubted us. And it felt like the same thing going into the playoffs. Heard people say, we're going to lose to the Packers because Jordan Love, right? We're going to lose to the Rams because of Stafford. They the best quarterbacks, right? Jaden Daniels, he's the best quarterback. So, it felt good, but I think we got some people to prove wrong. No Sunday.
No doubt. Well, we'll talk about what's going to happen on Sunday. But before we do, let's talk about how we got the stage set up for us on Championship Sunday. Let's go back to Saturday evening where the Washington Commanders, as Rio mentioned, were damn near a 10-point dog. They go to Ford Field. Those Lions fans were already getting prepared to host an NFC Championship. The Commanders had different plans. They spoil it for Dan Campbell, Jared Goff and company, 45-31 on the back of a 22-31, 299-yard, 2-touchdown performance from the rookie Jaden Daniels. We had maybe thought going into this one that the Commanders would be able to put up points against that Detroit Lions defense. I don't think anybody would have predicted 45 points, including 28 coming in the second quarter alone. It was a masterclass, and this Detroit Lions team felt like they were destined to go to the NFC Championship. It's funny how destiny works sometimes, fellas, because right now it feels like the Washington Commanders are a team of destiny. KB, you're watching this game Saturday night, right around the pick six, when it really started to feel like, oh boy, this might be the Commanders' night. How did you feel watching that game knowing, oh my God, a rookie-led Washington Commanders team is on their way to the NFC Championship?
Yeah, as things went on and Detroit was just finding ways to either turn over the ball or not be able to keep up with Washington scoring. I mean, I knew it was coming to a close for the Lions, and I'm shocked. I'll be honest with you. I'll be first to admit it. I thought the Lions were going to come out here and not. I knew this was going to be a shootout because these are two really good offenses going against each other. But I did not think Washington was going to put up that type of performance there. So I'm not going to say because we're still rivals at the end of the day. At the end of the day, I still hate you guys. But I will respect. They definitely earned my respect. I told Rio and everybody here last week, I said this was the statement game. This was, you went out and you beat your week one opponent back in week one, the Buccaneers. You beat them in the playoffs. That's fine. But now you're going to go against a number one seed and probably a Super Bowl favorite that a lot of people had, the Detroit Lions, and you went out there and put 45 on their heads with De'Ami Brown as your leading receiver. It was insane. So shout out to the Commanders and Jaden. I don't know if I can cuss in here. Mother freaking Daniels, man. I can't. And it's crazy. I'm probably gonna go on a rant later when we talk about the Eagles game too. But just the pure fact that's eating at my mind is that if the Giants knew how to be a franchise, Jaden Daniels and Saquon Barkley would be Giants right now on the same exact team. It's insane to me, and it all stems from that Daniel Jones signing, and that's really what ruined it all. And we really could have had both of those absolute stars on this team right now. Who knows what kind of conversation we would have been having? But I love Jaden Daniels. I love watching him play. I just hate the team that he plays for now. So yep. I guess we'll get to the predictions I guess later. But yeah, Washington has my respect. I'll just say that.
No team playing at home this postseason has lost other than the two home teams that had to go up against Jaden Daniels and these Commanders. It's incredible. Not only are they getting it done the way they are, they're doing it on the road. And KB, you mentioned it, having to go into Tampa Bay and get that W. It's amazing how we look back at that Bucs game and the opportunities that were squandered by the Tampa Bay Bucs. In Washington, they ended up taking advantage of it. And you're thinking going into that Lions game, man, maybe a little luck on the Commanders side, Baker fumbling the ball, right? Maybe just a lucky evening for the Commanders. No way they can keep it going again, and they do against the team that was destined to be in the spot that Washington currently is. So, Jay Tuck, you're watching on Saturday night. What was your biggest takeaway from what was unarguably a performance that nobody saw coming from Jaden Daniels and the Commanders?
Yeah, the Commanders ruined the moment, man. You know what I'm saying? Like Jello Ball had the hottest song in the country, in the world right now. He came out and performed for the Detroit Lions, and I ain't heard that song since, man. I ain't heard that song since Jaden Daniels went to Detroit and went crazy on the Detroit Lions. But it's kind of just, it's just one of those things where I feel like the Commanders are really believing in their quarterback for all the things that Rio said about the quarterback earlier, Jaden Daniels. Now, me personally, I haven't felt the burn of Jaden Daniels. I mean, because Cooper Rush did just fine, and Trey Lance outplayed him for a half, right? So I haven't got to feel the wrath of Jaden Daniels yet, but I think it's sure to come. But for the most part, I just feel like the team is believing. They're buying in. They buy into Dan Quinn. They're buying into Cliff, and this team is moving as a unit. And for a team that's been down numerous times throughout the course of the season and still battle back, they don't get rattled. They don't get rattled at all. And it's rare to see that system with a rookie quarterback. So you have everybody buying in. Defense is playing well. You mentioned De'Ami Brown and the wide receivers kind of stepping up. They are riding the wave of Jaden Daniels, and here they are getting ready to go into Philadelphia. And what's to be afraid of? You just went to Detroit. You just faced everyone's killer. You just faced everyone's monster on the road in Detroit. So it's going to be interesting to see how Sunday's matchup goes between the Commanders and the Philadelphia Eagles. But, this is just all KB. It's all the Giants' fault, bro. Look what y'all did, bro. Trying to win those extra games, and you know what I'm saying. This is y'all fault. This is what you did.
Yeah, the NFC Championship. I'll get into it later, but the NFC Championship is literally the Giants' fault.
The Cowboys contributed too. Don't leave them out. Dan Quinn's here.
I guess so. Little Dorrance Armstrong,
little
Tyler Biotis.
Hey, did you see Dorrance Armstrong last weekend, Tuck?
I know.
2 sacks.
Matter of fact, hold on, man. Hold on. Let me
Yeah, the turning point play of the game. We're gonna get to it when it's my turn.
Hold on, Commanders fans. Hold on, let me see if I got him. Here you go. I got some Dorrance Armstrong autographs left over, man. I'm gonna get this to y'all, man. They signed by my dog Dorrance Armstrong.
We lose that game on Saturday if Dorrance Armstrong doesn't force a turnover, but it's not my turn yet. Y'all got it.
Well, you bring up a great point, Rio, because we knew how electric this Commanders offense was. It might be the most impressive element of this whole run here might be the defense. You hold an electric Tampa Bay Bucks offense to only 20 points, and you force 5 turnovers on a Detroit Lions team that have been lighting up everybody this year on offense. So, Al, you're watching this game Saturday night. Are you under the impression, obviously, you know going into Sunday, you have high hopes that your Eagles are going to win, but were you under the impression going into that game that you were likely going to be going on the road against Detroit should your Eagles get it done?
I'm not going to lie. I felt it. It's like after the Thursday live stream Friday, I'm like, I just got a feeling the Commanders going to win. I don't see I just don't see the threat in Detroit defense. And I'm like, I kept saying Jaden Daniels is going to make the mistake, and then I'm like, why am I kidding myself? They got Jared Goff. He's going to make the mistake, and then he made mistakes and they lost. So I think the big thing, Jaden Daniels was great, no doubt about it. But what I was saying, I'm like, that run game was going. I think Brian Robinson did pretty good, right? He was averaging like 5 yards a carry.
Yep.
I think the running backs were great. The defense was great, getting the turnovers. So I think that was the most complete game I've seen from Washington. Like Jaden Daniels doing his thing, the run game, the receivers, the defense, the coaching was phenomenal. So they did what they were supposed to do against Detroit. And Detroit probably downplayed them because I was watching some of their stuff too. Even their fans was treating Washington like, yeah, we just going to beat y'all. We going to meet the Philadelphia Eagles or whatever.
Charity cases, man.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, what makes Detroit that good, especially with all them injuries, right? They got like 18 or 20 players on IR. Yeah, y'all not going to slow that offense down. And Jared Goff is not better than Jaden Daniels. So I just felt it. Because I thought it was going to be a close game, but I'm like, whoever makes the mistake, and it was the Lions.
Man, some of that footage from the broadcast, zooming in on those fans, the Lions fans in the stands, man, they do not know what just hit them. I mean, some of those guys look like the soul had just been sucked out of them. Me and my dad couldn't stop talking about it because every single person in there thought that they were buying a ticket to go and watch these guys propel themselves into another game in that building the following week. I mean, nobody saw it coming except for my man Rio. And Rio, the stage is yours right now.
For that game.
I want you to walk me. I want you to walk me through it because, as you had mentioned, you haven't been here yet, and when you haven't been there, the nerves about the ability to get there. I mean, I know you know the feeling; it's incredible. It makes you sick, but it's also insane how energetic it feels, how awesome it feels. But you're 7-3 after the first quarter. It's anybody's game, Rio. We go to halftime. It is 31-21. So kind of walk me through your emotions of the game, where you were at, and ultimately what the end of it felt like, knowing what was waiting for you.
Being a fan of a team that has not been in the playoffs too many times in my life, like, it feels disgustingly exciting Like, it's so exciting, but it feels like I can't breathe. I feel like every play makes me want to vomit, but you're living and dying on each ebb and flow of the game. And I went on 4 Lions channels and we did the SmackDown with Dose of Dion. And I tried to tell these people, y'all are talking like y'all are the Eagles. The Eagles have seen a Super Bowl banner a few years ago. They were just in the Super Bowl a couple years ago. You have never planted feet on Super Bowl grass before. I said, I've never seen my team win in the Super Bowl. But my dad saw 3 Lombardis. Your father's never seen a Super Bowl. His father's never seen a Super Bowl. No one in your lineage has ever seen a winner. So to talk about us like we're some Make-A-Wish football team, when you just hosted your first home playoff game at Ford Field ever last season, it's crazy. And when your quarterback is Jared Goff, like I was like, look, Jared Goff is a passenger in a Rolls Royce. Jaden Daniels is the car. He's the vehicle that drives this thing around here. And their fan base, oh my God, you're hating on Jared Goff. Jared Goff is special. He's not. I said, y'all had one special quarterback in the history of your franchise, and he didn't win till you traded him. And he won with this guy's old team. And you guys choked away the NFC Championship last year. And you're talking about my team crazy? Like, this is going to be a game. We're going to win, and it's going to be a shootout. And they just kept saying, you're a rookie quarterback, atmosphere. Jaden Daniels played for the SEC. He went to Tuscaloosa. And you're talking to me about Ford Field? That stadium was silent by the end of the first quarter because you can't make noise when a no-huddle offense is ice skating up and down the field on you all day. So the turning point of this game, I'm barely breathing at this point. We're down 7-3. The game started exactly how most people thought. Not really. It started with a 3-and-out from the Lions, and it started with us going right down the field, going forward on 4th down. Cliff Kingsbury called up his swaggiest play of the season. It was a fake tush-push type situation that was supposed to be a toss to Jaden Daniels. We had Jaden in the backfield as a tailback, and we had Brian Robinson kind of flanked behind Marcus Mariota under center. Mariota was supposed to fake the quarterback sneak, turn, pitch it to Jaden, and it was going to be him versus Terrion Arnold one-on-one in the open field. Terrion Arnold's an idiot, so he was going to get past him. He was probably going to score on the play. We get stuffed. The Lions go down and score. We get down the field the next drive, again, because we lived in their territory the whole day. 3rd down, De'Ami Brown gets the ball knocked out his hand at 7-3. Jahmyr Gibbs breaks a run for about 40 yards, and they look like they're about to go up 14-3. Tuck's guy, Dorrance Armstrong, comes in and saves the day. Benjamin David Johnson, a guy I once wanted to coach my football team, he's an idiot sometimes. He suffers from smartest guy in the room syndrome, and Jahmyr Gibbs was not being stopped by this defense on Sunday, and Big Brain says on 3rd and 1, we're going to take him off the field. We're going to put Jared Goff in an empty shotgun set, and we're going to throw the ball. Dorrance Armstrong forces a fumble. Frankie Louvu recovers the fumble, and then here comes Washington. We end up scoring there, and it became a track meet of, if y'all can keep up with our offense, it's going to be a shootout. And then we score, and then they score again. When the pick 6 happened, the floodgates eventually open. We go up 10, 24-14. Jared Goff gets popped by Frankie Louvu, which was a clean hit, by the way. Y'all keep saying that my boy Frankie Louvu is dirty. If it was not flagged on the field and the league, after reviewing the tape, doesn't find him, that's fair game. That's fair game. That's football at the end of the day. Gets his bail clean. They put in Teddy Bridgewater. It didn't matter. Jameson Williams takes a reverse to the crib, starts making love to the end zone like the crash out that he is. And Washington gets it one more time before the half's over. Jaden throws one of the prettiest passes of his young career so far. A flick of the wrist, doesn't even have to set up properly. He anticipates when he throws. He throws with anticipate. I know some of your quarterbacks can't relate to throwing with anticipation, but that's throwing to a spot your receiver's not at yet. 2 guys were on him. Hands in De'Ami Brown's face, but playoff De'Ami Brown is catching everything. He's went crazy through 2 games so far, and we proceeded to score almost every time we touch it for the rest of the game. 45-31. Jared Goff turns it over, 4 times on the day. And then Another smartest guy in the room type situation for Ben Johnson. If Jared Goff was really that good in the crunch time with your season on the line in the fourth quarter, you're going to let Jameson Williams throw a pass? You're going to let him throw a pass in the fourth quarter of a playoff football game? Another interception. Mikey Sanders still went back up to Michigan, got him 2 interceptions on the day, and the game ended with a Jared Goff interception to Jeremy Chin. 5 of those things, we kept them under their season averaging 33.5 points. We kept them to 31. They gained 500 yards of offense and scored 31 points, but they do that to everybody. You know, the turnovers were the difference in this one. And for the second week in a row, Washington played mistake-free offensive football. And when we're playing like this, we can beat anybody.
Rio, there's a lot of things that are impressive about Jaden Daniels, but to me, unarguably, it's the poise. When they send the blitz at him, third down, the guy gets through all of his reads and finds the open man, doesn't panic. I've never seen it from a rookie quarterback before. Just real quick, talk to me about watching this guy in his rookie year, because if you were to watch him in a closed environment, not knowing who he was, you'd never in a million years guess that this was this guy's first year in the league. You're watching those type of moments. What does it feel like knowing that dude's my quarterback?
This is not a feeling I'm familiar with because I've watched
what kind of question is that?
I've watched 40 bad quarterbacks. I've watched 40 plus bad quarterbacks come and go. This guy's composure, he has that trait. And like you see special players have, you know, like when you watch Kobe play basketball, he has that cool calmness, but on the field, he's a killer. He's a stone cold assassin. Did you see the way Brady lit up talking about Jaden Daniels and talking to him after the game? Brady was looking at him like, oh, he's got the stuff, man. He's got the stuff that everybody that talks about him, you can look at the opposing team each week. The best players on the defense, they just want to be around us. They're talking, they're joking, they're laughing it up. We play the Eagles. Him and Jalen Carter laughing it up during the game. Like, everything about this dude is bona fide superstar. He's likable. He's not corny. He is a leader. He's humble as hell, but extremely confident. Like, he's ridiculously confident on the field. You're never taking the smile off his face. And you never know what the score or situation is when you see him sitting on the bench on the sideline. Watching him operate like this as a rookie is something special, man. It's something special. He's got the short game. He's got the medium game. He's got the long game. We have full confidence that every time he touches the field, it's 4-down territory because we know that he's going to make the right play, whether that's passing the ball or running it. And for people to call him a running quarterback, he picks his spots to run so meticulously, man. Watching this guy, man, it's like watching a conductor play music, man. Go ahead and find you one of these, JKB. I don't know.
Is this a Jaden Daniels scouting report right now? We know who he is. I don't want to talk about him anymore. He's also not allowed to have a girlfriend because he's a mama's boy. All right? So I don't want to talk about him anymore.
I understand why he's a mama's boy.
Mama Jackson, keep them girls away, man. Just keep them locked in. We don't got time. We got to run this division for the next decade,
we need
man.
one Instagram model to bring him back down to reality.
Yeah. We need Brody to get a girl real quick and sabotage him.
He's a baller, man. Y'all got to see him for the next 10 years, man. Lock in.
The team who's got to see him this upcoming week, it's those Philadelphia Eagles. Let's talk about them Sunday afternoon in a snowstorm. It's funny to watch the highlights from the beginning of that game to the end of the game. You would think you were watching highlights from 2 different games, and it felt like 2 different games at times. It felt like the Eagles were going to run away with it, blow out the Rams, and then all of a sudden they weren't. Then all of a sudden, oh, wait a minute, Rams might win this at the end. A crazy game that the Eagles end up pulling it out. 28-22, the final. They get to 28 points and to a W on the back of only 128 yards from Jalen Hurts. But when Saquon Barkley's running it for 205 yards and 2 touchdowns, you don't need an unreal performance from your quarterback, and the Eagles are fully aware of that. They have been riding Saquon Barkley all the way to the NFC Championship, and I know nobody in here knows Saquon Barkley more than the man in the top left of your screen. So, KB, I'll start with you. You watch Saquon Barkley run these Eagles to an NFC Championship. What were your thoughts on watching him dominate the Rams yet again this season?
It's heartbreaking, man. It's heartbreaking. First, watch the Washington Commanders with my quarterback to be just run away with it with another team, and then I gotta watch Saquon, who was with us, and run away literally with another team. Man, Saquon is special, man, and I really feel bad that the Giants held him back from his true potential for 6 years. Because to be honest with you, this has always been who Saquon Barkley is. Like this is he hasn't like reached a new level of his skill set or reached a new level of his prime. This has always been who Saquon Barkley is, and the Giants were never able to unlock that fully. And so I feel like Saquon Barkley could have had years like this almost every single season he's been in the NFL. And so seeing him run with the Eagles and doing what he's doing is absolutely special. And it's bittersweet because I'm rooting for him, but it just sucks because in part of rooting for him, it means the Eagles' success. Like I've never seen an easier ride through the playoffs from a quarterback position than Jalen Hurts. Jalen Hurts literally can just sit back and just hand it off the whole time. 131 yards the prior game in Green Bay, 128 yards. I mean, he did some stuff on the ground. Don't get me wrong. He had that touchdown run in this last game, but
that was clean.
I mean,
that was clean.
Yeah, it was good. It was good, but I mean, 205 yards from Saquon Barkley, man. It was special to see, and man, that Rams game really came down to the wire. You had that huge play. You know, you thought the Rams were out of it. Yeah, that huge play to Puka Nacua. He made that great catch on the sideline, and you thought that the momentum was sort of shifting there, and you thought they were going to come back and win the game, or at least tied it, because it was 28-22. So they could have at least tied it and see what they could have done with a 2-pointer or something like that, but. That game came down to the wire. It was entertaining to watch, and the Eagles took care of business. I thought they would. It was honestly a closer game than I expected. It didn't snow as much. Well, it did snow, but it didn't really affect Matt Stafford as much. I think he still threw for 300, if I'm not mistaken.
Almost 400.
So yeah. He had a monster game. So I didn't think that the Rams were going to put that much of a fight, but they did. Shout out to them. But yeah, the Eagles are moving on to championship as I thought they would.
Jalen Hurts, he's taken some flack for this, but A.J. Brown dropped a wide open touchdown. That would have helped out his numbers. And look at Jalen Hurts still had 70 yards on the ground, including that 44-yard touchdown run that you mentioned, KB. Game would have been a lot different if it weren't for the legs of Jalen Hurts. Jay Tuck, you're watching this game, and the Rams at one point, it just felt like they were completely out of it, and then you blinked, and it was like, wow, Nacua just made maybe the play of the year, and these Rams are on the doorstep. What was your big takeaway from that game on Sunday?
Yeah, it was a battle. You know, it's funny, you know, we talk about the snow game. The Eagles' very first game versus the Green Bay Packers was in Brazil, and they were slipping and sliding, right? I call it NFL on ice. Mm-hmm. And you kind of felt it a little bit, but it seemed like, you know, it really didn't impact both teams. Like Saquon was still out there running, cutting sharp. And just like KB mentioned, the passing game for the Rams was intact. Now, of course, you know, my Florida State guy and Jared Verse had some choice words for Eagles fans. And I understand you, Verse.
He was hauling ass to Saquon and trying to stop him.
That play, I was like, who was that? My guy Verse, and Verse was talking down. So, you know, I feel like the Rams, they have a young, solid core. They're going to be back. They're going to be good. But it just shows what we've been saying week after week after week, this talent pool when it comes to the Eagles. It's a lot. You know, when Jalen Hurts is having a bad stretch of games, and it's Saquon Barkley. If Saquon Barkley gets started, well, there's A.J. Brown, and then there's Grant Calcaterra, and, you know, Devontae Smith, and the list just goes on and on and on when it comes to this Eagles team. And also the Eagles defense, man. Jalen Carter, he's here, y'all. He's here. I try to tell everybody draft season, well, welcome to the party. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, it just shows what the Eagles have been building, these contender teams, by being aggressive and, you know, being heavy in the draft and going and getting guys. I don't know why. I don't know why NFL teams just sit back and let Jalen Carter slide to the Eagles, especially after they got.
I mean, we know why. But.
I don't care, bro. I was like, I don't care. I would have paid the lawyer fees.
Man, Tuck said if he dies, he dies.
Hey, man. Hey, I'll try to win. You know what I'm saying? But then you sit back and see, you know, the year after, right? They let Quinyon Mitchell, who I thought arguably is one of the best corners, just fall back to Philly. So I don't know why the Eagles are so blessed and highly favored. So. You know, that was sickening. It was a sickening Sunday for I bet me and KB. You know, you hear Rio talk about all these Jaden Daniels, praises, but the only team that can really humble him is the team I don't want to humble him. So like I'm caught in a bind. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I'm caught in a bind as we talk about Sunday's matchup, but good win for the Eagles, and they're talented. Not only one of the talented teams in the NFC, but I would say in the NFL. So, hopefully next week I can come sing some more of those Jaden Daniel praises with Rio. You know what I'm saying?
Rio, you had already punched your ticket Saturday night. Let me start by asking, who were you rooting for in this game?
I was kind of torn because the NFC East in me, like, obviously we want to hate watch the Eagles, but like in my heart, I want that to be the team we go through if we can punch our ticket in the Super Bowl. Like the world needs Eagles Commanders in the NFC Championship, man. The way that our fan bases move, this is the best division in football as far as a lot of their popularity and all that. It may not be record-wise, but it's the NFC beast. Like for this division to be well represented like that, I wanted that. But while I was watching it, I don't know. I was going back and forth, but I'm like, okay, I want us to go to a dome and play. I send Jaden back to LA, but at the same time, it's like I do want to play Philadelphia because I want to humble these fans because Philadelphia fans, rightfully so, they be talking crazy. They be talking spicy because they expect to be here. They're like, you guys just crashed the party. This is where we expected to be back in August. And respect, they're back here again, man. They built that team. Howie Roseman must know where the bodies are buried throughout the league. He's put together a top 2 roster, if not the best roster in the NFL right now. They're finally starting to see certain guys turn up. All of a sudden, Nolan Smith is hooping.
Yeah.
Josh Sweat is hooping. Like, oh my God. They're getting production from all types of guys on top of Jalen Carter has become a game wrecker, but this is what he was supposed to be coming into this league. He's looking like Georgia Carter at this point. He took over that game defensively. The ultimate difference in this game were those 2 stupid-ass fumbles the Rams did. They fumbled twice and gave Philly short fields on those drives in the snow. And just when you thought, oh, nobody can really get good traction or really run in this snow, we're watching Saquon Barkley run up
passing through the snow.
Thanks to the passing through this, exactly, because of the New York Giants allowed Saquon to go right into the arms of the Eagles. Saquon has been the best player in the NFL this year. Saquon and Jaden have been the best player during the postseason. 200 yards in a playoff game. He's carrying these boys offensively, man. They got a scare because I seen Jalen's leg go under him. I seen something similar happen in the Atlanta game with my quarterback. The leg day, not skipping leg day. Look what it'll do for you guys. Don't skip leg day. When you can squat a house, you can watch your knee get torn to shreds and actually still stay intact. So I want Jalen Hurts to be healthy for this game. I'm not sure exactly how healthy he's going to be, but Saquon is carrying a huge load for this offense, and he's pretty much running them into a Super Bowl in tandem with their defense right now. They're getting production from all levels on their defense. Quinyon got a little banged up in the process as well. Matt Stafford made it fun. He made it interesting in the snow, but there was a certain point of the game where you're just like, yeah, the Rams aren't going to win this.
Rio, you mentioned the 2 fumbles from the Rams. That really did feel like the tipping point. Every team that won the turnover battle in the divisional round won the football game. Al, that was a huge part of this game. The Eagles protected the football, didn't turn it over. They had 5 sacks defensively. That was huge. And then, of course, Saquon Barkley. The big difference in this game more than anything were the 3 massive chunk plays that led for touchdowns. The Rams were doing a good job of kind of keeping things in front of them, but when they didn't, that's what burned them the most. 3 40-plus yard touchdowns to seal the deal for Philly. You're on your way back to the NFC Championship. Al, what did you see on Sunday that had you feeling confident moving forward?
Yeah, I can't lie. Saquon Barkley. Saquon Barkley was still doing his thing. But I seen somewhat of the Eagles' game plan because the first couple plays were throws to like Devontae Smith, A.J. Brown. They tried to get the passing game going, and it was working. Then they ran that play action or whatever they did, RPO. Then Jalen Hurts ran for a touchdown. And then we realized, oh, this is the same old Rams that can't stop the run. So it looked like we just went with that flow. They couldn't stop the run. AJ Brown had some unusual drops. It was terrible. I think the old line didn't play that great. Like pass blocking, to me, they weren't that great, but run blocking, they were great. But overall, the Eagles did what they've been doing all year, not turning the ball over, running the ball really well, and also letting the defense dominate. Zach Bond played really great. I thought over and Burt's filling in for N'Kobe Dean did really good. Of course, Jalen Carter did Jalen Carter things. Nolan Smith with the sack fumble. I think overall it was just a really, really good game, but also missed opportunities. We missed some extra points, whereas though that could have came back and hunt us, and we could have lost. So we just gotta take advantage and maximize our opportunities, because if we don't, Washington possibly could get us if we don't. Because it's like, if that was Jaden Daniels on a good weather day, do he go down and score? Maybe he do. So we just got to look at those things like Jake Elliott. You got to make your field goals. AJ Brown, you're the best receiver. You got to catch those if it's a touchdown right there. So, man, it was overall a good game, but there's some stuff we got to clean up.
Are you concerned with Jalen Hurts at all moving forward here?
No. I've seen some practice clips. It looked like he's running really well. I've seen some rollouts we did with him. I didn't really see him run full speed just yet, but him moving around, play actions, going to like sideline to sideline. I'm not sure about that straight line speed. I just got to wait for the game to see that. But overall, he looked good.
All right, so we recap the divisional. Now all that's left to do is predict the championship round. We will predict the Eagles-Commanders game last, but let's start in the AFC. Let's start Sunday evening for the fourth iteration of Mahomes v. Allen. All three thus far have gone in the favor of Patrick Mahomes. The Chiefs get it done this past weekend to move on to the divisional round with relative ease against the Houston Texans. Meanwhile, the Bills in that grudge match against the two MVP favorites. You had Lamar coming into Orchard Park. Hell of a game that came down to the wire. The Bills edged it out. We talked about the turnover differential this weekend, fellas, and that was the ultimate difference in that game. Now these two face off for a right to go to the Super Bowl. The Bills are looking to get back there for the first time since the mid-'90s and win their first ever. Meanwhile, the Chiefs are looking to do what no one's ever done before, and that's win a third consecutive Super Bowl. KB, how do you read this one on Sunday afternoon, and who inevitably heads to New Orleans out of the AFC?
Will I be kicked off the show if I choose the Chiefs?
No, please do.
Well, to be honest with you, I'm actually not gonna pick the Chiefs here. I actually think Buffalo can squeak this one out, to be honest with you. Now, I'll be honest, I haven't watched much of Chiefs football this season because I don't care to. I don't care to watch Chiefs football. They're the best team in the NFL supposedly, so I just let them do the thing. I like to watch more NFC games, but Buffalo's playing great. They found a way to win against Baltimore, and I know there's a lot of controversy right now with the whole Mark Andrews thing and what could have been, but
pray for that man.
But here's the thing, though. There was still like 90 seconds left in the game, and it would have just tied the game. I mean, who knows what could have happened at that point? You know what I'm saying? So,
correct.
Like, it's not like if Mark Andrews catches that ball, Baltimore wins the game. You're still giving Josh Allen a chance to score, and it's tied. So, I think Buffalo has faced kind of. I guess you could say, I'm not going to say they got lucky, but they had a great game against Baltimore, and they squeaked one out against Baltimore, and I think they're going to go against Kansas City, and Josh Allen's finally going to do it. I mean, this has been something that Josh Allen's been trying to do for a while now. Listen, he just got engaged to Haley Steinfeld. All right, he's winning this season.
He won.
He just got engaged to Haley Steinfeld. He's probably going to win the MVP, and probably better than those two moments is beating the Chiefs in the playoffs, and I think Josh Allen is going to do it and get themselves to the Super Bowl for the first time since the Fort Pete losing streak.
Jay Tuck, the modern day version of Manning versus Brady. The fourth time we see these quarterbacks face off in the playoffs. The second time for a right to go to the Super Bowl. Who wins it this time around to get to Super Bowl 59 out of the AFC?
Zebot and Dan, you are my guys. But do you guys not just hear what we've been talking about all show? I have the Eagles and the Commanders. One of these teams are going to the Super Bowl. And as good as Josh Allen is, I need a contract killer. I need a contract killer to prevent the inevitable from happening down there in New Orleans. I'll be out there in New Orleans.
He said he need out of town hitters.
I gotta go. And like I said, for the past 2 years, you know what I'm saying, I had to go call my big cousin to handle, you know what I'm saying, the Eagles, and they turned around last year and handled the San Francisco 49ers. I gotta call up Cuzzo again. Pat Mahomes, win it. Get to New Orleans and prevent the inevitable to happen, Commanders or the Eagles, because Josh Allen is good. He's having the MVP season, but I can't trust him versus Jaden Daniels. I cannot trust him versus Jalen Hurts and Saquon Barkley, but I do know one person I can trust, and that is that man in Pat Mahomes. So I'm going with the Chiefs to win at Arrowhead. Sorry, Z-Bot. But
listen, hey, it's a fair take. You're using your NFC East fandom to fuel one of these guys on the right to lose.
If it was the Lions, I'd have probably pulled for you guys a little. I'm lying because I get more perks in New Orleans to the Chiefs go. But anyways, you know what I'm saying? But I didn't mean, you know what I'm saying? If the home team goes, you know, I get full access. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going. So long story short, I'm going with the Kansas City Chiefs to win.
Rio, who are you going with on Sunday night?
Oh, it's like a battle of heart versus head in this one, man. You know, Sunday, January 26th is the 33rd anniversary from the Washington Buffalo Super Bowl of the 91-92 season. So how fitting would it be if your team and my team would have punched those tickets, Z-Bot? 33-year anniversary since that Super Bowl, man.
That's satanic.
It's just hard. I know, it's crazy. It's crazy. The way that these cards are lining up, it's not me just pulling this out of my, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's there. And this is Allen Mahomes. I will say the Bills are playing the Bills are playing better than the Chiefs right now, but that's a hard place to win, man. That's Arrowhead Stadium. And you know they got the league, Black Magic, and the Swifty cult on them. I want Buffalo to win this. I don't know.
Well, they've conjured up Caitlin Clark now, too, by the way, Rio. So
they got Caitlin Clark on the dynasty now. This is crazy, man.
Where'd they get her from?
I don't know, but
they're bringing in everybody.
They're just pulling in everybody. You know, they're building up Illuminati witch magic from the streets, you know? They want to keep adding to their collection.
The elite.
I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, man. That's the ones who I'm gonna put my money on. I would love to see Buffalo go, because the story of like Washington and Buffalo would be so fire, man. It would be so good. We could throw away the three-peat conversation and see a new champion this year. But
I'm good.
Pat gonna turn into a different animal in Arrowhead on Sunday. I think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are gonna take it.
Al, what are you thinking about Sunday afternoon, or evening rather, in the AFC?
Man, I want the Bills and Eagles, Super Bowl. I've been wanting that forever. The two fan bases are crazy. Them coming together, playing each other. Yeah, it'll be a good one. But I do want the revenge a little bit against the Chiefs, because we the ones that lost to the Chiefs. And but something tells me the Bills are going to win. The Bills got the better overall team. To me, they've been playing really well. I don't think the Chiefs defense is just going to be enough to stop Josh Allen at all. I think Josh Allen still get his off. And based on what I've been seeing from the Chiefs offense, I don't know. I don't know if they got enough to pull it off. I think the Chiefs go into that environment. It's going to be hostile. And I think Josh Allen, he's going to keep it cool, calm, and collective. As long as Josh Allen been playing how he's been playing, mistake-free football. This is crazy talking about Josh Allen, but if he play mistake-free football, they can win that game. And I think we get an Eagles and Bills. But my heart really wants the Chiefs, because I believe they started they two-peat on us. They beat us, and then they won the following year, and it'd be good. We could end that three-peat, but I just think the Bills are the better team.
Well, let's see who ends up playing either the Chiefs or the Bills out of the NFC East here. It's time to make our predictions for the NFC Championship KB, I'll start here with you. I know obviously your heart gets broken regardless of who wins here. Either Saquon goes or your love, Jaden Daniels, goes. In your heart of hearts, however, who do you think goes and why?
This is hard for me to talk about because I was sitting back thinking about this game and I'm like, my God. I mean, look where we're at right now. As a Giants fan, I had to sit here in the NFC Championship game and watch the little brothers, watch the Commanders grow up, and now they're going to face the Eagles in the NFC Championship. That's something that a Giants fan could dream about. And I'm sitting back, and I'm just like, wow. Look at the way Jaden Daniels is playing. Wow. Look at the way Saquon Barkley is playing. Both of these guys, the New York Giants are responsible for this NFC Championship game. The reason why both of these teams are in the NFC Championship game is because of the New York Giants. Because who's the best player on the Commanders right now? It's Jaden Daniels. Who's the best player on the Philadelphia Eagles right now? It's Saquon Barkley. And the Giants had a chance to keep both of them in this season. They imagine a team with the New York Giants having Jaden Daniels and Saquon Barkley in the backfield. The Giants could have had that, and they screwed it up. So yeah, I'm looking at this game with I'm just purely hate watching. I wish both of you guys lost. I wish it was something like Bane shows up from Batman and just the football field just collapses. That's it. As far as what I actually think is going to happen in this game, I really want the Commanders to win. I do want the Commanders to win. I can't stand Philly. I don't want them going back to another Super Bowl because even if they lose the Super Bowl, that they're just going to hang it on our heads. We went to a Super Bowl. You lost, but you're still talking about it. You went to a Super Bowl because that is very.
I love how KB
so
keeps sneaking the Giants on championship weekend.
Listen, I'm thinking about the old days. That used to be us, all right? That used to be us, all right? We were making history against the Patriots and stuff like that. So, the glory days. But, I just don't want the Eagles fans constantly, dangling that over our heads in the NFC that they went to a Super Bowl even if they lose. I don't want that anymore. I can't stand the Eagles at all, and I really like Jaden Daniels. This would be amazing. This would be so poetic. I mean, he's already been having the best season as a rookie quarterback pretty much ever. It will be the cherry on top if he comes in here, drafted to a team, starts day one, and makes it to a freaking Super Bowl with a team that won 4 games last season. That would be absolutely insane, and I want to see that happen. I want to see Commanders Bills Super Bowl. Dear God, if it turns into a Bills Eagles Super Bowl, Louisiana's going to be up in flames with both of those fan bases in Louisiana. So I'm gonna take. Damn. I don't know. I want to
stand on business. Stand on business, KB. Stand on business, KB.
No. Oh man, listen. I said it. No. I said it because in the wild card and divisional games, I picked against the Commanders. They've proved me wrong. And
do it again.
I'm not going to do it. And you know what? It may be reverse psychology or something like that. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to put respect to where it's due. I said last week that if they beat the Lions, it's going to be a statement game that they have arrived, that they're just not just some sort of rookie season fluke or anything like that. They beat the number 1 seed fair and square. They put 45 points on their heads. I'm going to take the Commanders to win. I think the Eagles are going to put up a big fight. I mean, the Commanders need to give it their all. They need to play mistake-free football, and similar enough to how every playoff game goes, it's whoever makes the least amount of mistakes. I think both these quarterbacks have yet to throw an interception in this playoff so far. I think both Jalen Hurts and Jaden Daniels have not thrown an interception so far in the playoffs, so that's going to be interesting to see whoever does it first. But I'm gonna take Commanders here. I'm gonna take the Commanders here to beat the Eagles. Now, you got to stop Saquon Barkley. You have to stop Saquon Barkley.
There's no stopping him.
You have to contain him. You got to contain him because the Commanders haven't done a great job stopping the run all year. This is gonna be a real tough task for them. So, if they can just contain Saquon Barkley, keep the mistakes to a minimal, and they can come out victorious here because they can go band for band. They can go touchdown for touchdown with the Eagles. So give me the Commanders.
Sounds like either way, Joe Shane should go get his finger fitted because he's getting a ring regardless here, according to KB.
No. He should be on Indeed.com is where he should be. All right, he's responsible. He's responsible for those two players on different teams, separate teams, both in the NFC Championship.
J-Tuck, I know this is damn near impossible to pick a winner here, but you gotta. If you had to pick one going into Sunday, who is heading to the Super Bowl out of the NFC?
Oh, this ain't impossible. This is easy. The Washington Commanders, right? There's no way.
He said it's easy.
There is no way I want to be stuck in New Orleans surrounded by a bunch of Eagles fans. One of my favorite restaurants is Houston's, and they shut Houston's down all across the country. I found to Houston's location, New Orleans. I want to be able to enjoy myself, and I feel like I will not be able to do that with Fly Eagles Fly, and you know what I'm saying, blow the whistle and stuff while I'm trying to enjoy my steak dinner.
Being harassed.
Not. Yeah, being harassed,
assaulted.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, I want the Commanders to win this game. At least I can say, hey, that's my cousin Dan Quinn and my good old friend Lawrence Armstrong. You know what I'm saying? And Tyler Biadasz. You know what I'm saying? So let's say what's up to your exes. But yeah, I feel like I want the Commanders to win this game. But who do I think is going to win this game? I think it's going to be Eagle Al. Damn.
Al.
Oh, God.
J-Tuck, according to him, he's going to be surrounded by green out in New Orleans. He's going to be dining on steak while everyone's screaming, go birds around him. Do you think that's going to be J-Tuck's reality? Are the Eagles heading to New Orleans after Sunday?
Absolutely. I mean, come on. Jaden Daniels ain't playing on fourth-string cornerback and throwing on the guy that just worked at Home Depot. So, you know, we're going to have Quinn Mitchell, Darius Slay, CJ Gardner-Johnson. I know Rio seen them stats when CJ Gardner-Johnson got ejected versus when he was in, right?
10 other guys on the field. Next man up. That's supposed to be the number one defense. That's supposed to be the number one defense. My rookie walked them down 5 times, but continue.
He walked down who? CJ McCollum?
No,
whoever he was.
CJ
Ooh, here we go. That's what we're talking about.
He walked down Jalen Carter. He walked down Reed.
Talking basketball now.
He walked down Cooper DeJean, who somehow snuck onto the defensive rookie of the year ballot. Somehow they let him in.
Yeah, I seen that.
For whatever reason. But now we'll continue. You got it. It's your floor. It's yours.
Yeah, he walked down McCollum. That's who he threw over the middle too. But I digress. You know, y'all had like four turnovers when CJ was in, but we not going to continue that. CJ Gardner-Johnson will not make that mistake cursing out refs. He won't get ejected. You guys will be playing the first team defense, so it will be some slowing down to that, you know, momentum. I think the defense do their thing. You facing Vic Fangio for third straight time. Vic Fangio is giving out compliments. That's how I know he's serious going into this game. So you're gonna have to deal with him. Yeah, he know Jaden Daniels is the real deal, and for him to say it out in public, that means he's really preparing for him, and hopefully to slow the kid down, and hopefully the offense do their job. I think Jalen Hurts have a better game. I think he still play mistake-free football, but AJ Brown is I can't believe I'm saying this about AJ Brown, but I think he is the X factor because he realized I had 2 straight games where I just was not that good. And I think that's a guy you guys gonna have to really watch out for. I think he's gonna come out in this game like angry, mad. I'm that guy, and I can't be forgotten about. Yes, everybody loves Saquon, but I'm a 3-time All-Pro. I've been here 3 straight years, got All-Pros. He's gonna go off. He's the guy to watch. And Devontae Smith wants to redeem himself too. So I think the passing game is slightly better, but the guy that closed out the game is Saquon. That's who everybody's going to remember. So
Rio, what kind of final score are you thinking? Yeah, my bad. What kind of final score?
34-27.
All right, so a good game. That's what we're all hoping for.
Yeah, I want to see that.
Must be a lot of Saquon Barkley touchdowns because for Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown to get off on us on Sunday, that would mean someone's getting them the football. That would mean someone's getting them the football consistently. And I don't want to hear the storyline about Jalen Hurts' health I don't care if he's at 195, 80, 85%, because the last time the Eagles were at this game, they beat a team with no quarterbacks left. Did they apologize to anybody for beating them? No, because you don't apologize. You play whoever's on the football field. I watched this football team go to a Super Bowl beating Case Keenum and go to a Super Bowl beating the ghost of Brock Purdy, Josh Johnson, and emergency quarterback George Kittle. Like,
hold on, before you go, who hurt Brock Purdy? The Eagles, right? That was a part of the game where he got okay. He did come into the game hurt, right?
Yeah, but you mean
I
like
need to see the
you mean
showdown.
like-
I need to see
you
the
mean like
showdown.
when-
That's what I
you mean
need
like
to
when
see.
we knocked
That's
Jalen
what I
Hurts
need to
out the game? You mean like when it's crazy when the rabbit has the gun. It's the same thing. You're not allowed to hurt an eagle, but they can knock someone out the game, and all of a sudden this is a storyline.
They
You
knocked
know
two
what I'm
people
saying?
out.
One was clean, one was really clean. He
Y'all
hit him
knocked
in the
two-
elbow.
yeah.
One was, little head, but
It happens. It's football. When you have the best roster in football, you need to be able to defend if C.D. Gardner-Johnson's dumbass wants to get ejected in the fourth quarter of the game. I've seen my quarterback walk down this defense when he was a much lesser version of himself. The quarterback that he is right now is significantly better than who he was when we turned the ball over 5 times. We won't turn it over 5 times. We won't turn it over 4 times, 3 times. We probably won't turn it over 2 times. We're playing the cleanest football in the game. The difference between the clean sheets of Jaden Daniels and Jalen Hurts is our guy's actually throwing the football. He's actually throwing the football. He's putting it in tight windows, and he's throwing it to guys who are not only wide open, he's getting the ball completed on a high clip. Our offense is going to score on this team. I don't care how good their defense is. Washington hasn't lost to a team after playing them a second time this year. It happened versus everybody in the division. And when we saw Tampa Bay in the first round, Tampa Bay is a good defense, y'all. We didn't punt 1 time versus this team. We didn't turn the ball over 1 time versus this team. It continues. NFC Championship weekend. Jaden Daniels over 350 total yards, 3 touchdowns, 30-24 Washington. 30-24. Saquon could get 160, 170 yards and a couple touchdowns, but unless he scores 5 times, they're not beating us on Sunday. That boy's not healthy, and his main superpower is his legs, and his legs are banged up. Make Jalen Hurts a passer, and we're going to the Super Bowl. Super Bowl 59 in New Orleans is welcoming a rookie quarterback for the first time in NFL history. Talk to us nice.
Ooh, speaking of which, Super Chat's coming in. Snacking95 says no QB this century has lost his first Super Bowl and returned. Meanwhile, no rookie has ever made it to a Super Bowl, as Rio just alluded to. The clock strikes midnight for one team on Sunday, says Snacking95. That's a really good tidbit there. Real interesting to see. Either way, you have a great story coming out. Door Gunner coming in. JD and Terry about to send Q and Slade to the gulag, Rio. How are we feeling about that right there?
Let's go, man. Terry, you know what I'm saying? Terry took Quinion off the film. He wasn't even in the touchdown tape. It was like no one was covering him last time we seen them, boy. Let's do it again, man. This offense is locked in. They haven't seen playoff De'Ami Brown yet.
Door Gunner's also saying Q wasn't in screen on the Terry TD.
Nowhere to be
Tell
found.
Brian Robinson, watch out for that peanut punch from Jalen Carter.
Oh my God, okay. Bro, I was about to break my TV last time.
Philly Talk Pod coming in. He's saying, be real, Jay Tuck. I want to see that bet slip. I think you had him in the first
Philly
half,
Mike.
Jay Tuck, because you went Eagles.
Normally when I bet on the Eagles, they lose. So I might go to Bet US and slam the Eagles.
Ooh.
I might just go ahead and slam the Eagles. You know,
Round table OG Philly Mike in the building.
Yeah.
If you
Philly
want to get
Mike.
in on that with Jay Tuck, by the way, you can do so over on BetUS. The lines are currently up, and there they are in front of you. The Commanders go into this game in familiar territory as an underdog. +6 are the Commanders going into Philadelphia on Championship Sunday. The Bills going into Arrowhead as a 1-point dog, and we are just a few days away from finding out who ends up taking it. If you want to get in on the action, do so using the promo code YouTube150 on BetUS. That'll get you a 150% sign-up bonus, up to $2,000 on your first deposit, 125% bonus on your next 2 after that. Fellas, we couldn't have asked for much more on the NFC East Roundtable. 2 teams remain in the NFC, 2 teams out of the NFC East. 1 will remain the next time we join you previewing the Super Bowl, and we cannot wait for it. But that's going to do it for us tonight on the divisional round recap and the championship weekend preview episode. Cannot wait to see you on the next one. In the meantime, for Rio, KB, J Tuck, and Al. I'm your host, Zbot. Thanks so much for tuning in to the NFC East Roundtable, and we'll see you on the next one.
Left hand up. Who are we?